The personal quarters segment is now complete. But before we go get that from the Foundry, it's been complete for a hot minute, and on the last couple of streams, Dan has also cleared out a number of planets. You can see these faint mastery markers over now Mars, Earth, Phobos, Venus, Mercury, Ceres, Europa, Saturn and Uranus. The reason that both Deimos and Jupiter are marked off is of course because there are additional nodes which have further requirements to complete. Getting these personal quarters is indeed one of those requirements, so let's head on over to that Foundry. This is Dan, a lone Tenno with a quest to defeat the Murmur. I'm Nick Engineer, let's go zero to hero.
Your habitation segment is complete, and the new room is ready. Orders cannot contain his excitement. Will you go there now, operator? Will you?
Oh yes indeed,
Well,
here we
what do
go.
you think? Not too shabby, yes? Orders hopes the operator enjoys this new room.
So this room gives us various decorative space and whatnot, which of course Dan is definitely totally going to... Okay, whatever. And we have the Soma chord here, for those of you who like to add music to your orbiter, but this is the real reason we are here. Okay, we appear to be on Lua.
Do something. Get me out of here.
You know I can't.
Can't or won't.
You gotta respect that Ballas is marked in red. Red of course meaning not your friend.
I told you not to speak out. If you recant, maybe...
You lied to me, Ballas. You're no different than the rest of them.
Margulis, please forgive me. Honored Seven, we have gathered here today to carry out the sentencing of Archimedean Margulis. You face the Jade Light. Recant, and we will grant a merciful death. Forgive me. I will not abandon you again, Margulis.
With Dan being alone, this hits just that much harder. Lotus is now conspicuously missing, and that unlocks for us the sacrifice.
Tenno, your codex has been updated with a new quest.
Operator? What is happening? Is the Lotus... is she gone? Ordis will attempt to synthesize her mission directives until we can figure out where she is.
I feel like those should have been the other way around. Quests from this point are much more story and generic gameplay rather than Dan making choices and expressing agency. This isn't to say the quests are bad, just the story focus is not this series' focus. For that reason, I'm going to start cutting them down significantly, returning our focus to the actions Dan takes to defeat the Murmur. We learn of Umbra, that Ballas is on side with sentients, and get a glimpse of a place on Earth to visit.
Operator, are you alright?
Dan finds fragments, and Ordis helpfully begins reconstruction of the destroyed warframe.
Remnants appear to be of warframe composition. Almost crude. If you can get another scan, I may be able to synthesize a partial schematic of the victim.
We head to Lua and discover absolute evidence of Ballas selling out to the sentients.
It is with the greatest of risk that I commit this recording. The codices within reveal the hidden weakness of your most feared enemy. My creations, my frames of war.
Ordis gets a little bit screwed up. Is there anyone Dan knows who isn't going to be killed, or at least taken from him?
Ordis, you need to learn how to stand up for yourself. To say no and mean it, even if it is the operator.
Oh. Lourdes steps up to help as we rebuild Umbra.
I have been upgraded, Starchild. Your Warframe blueprint now has the required data.
We discover Umbra has living, angry memories of Ballas. At this point, who doesn't? But these are all Umbra has. The 111 Amp Dan constructed makes subduing Umbra long enough to help him a much easier task. Umbra confronts his memories with our support, and we do that thing Tenno are so good at when not being child soldiers.
It was that somehow, from within the derelict horror, they had learned a way to see inside an ugly, broken thing. And take away its pain.
This leads to one final confrontation with Ballas, where of course, nothing goes wrong.
What have you done with her? Ballas, where is the Lotus?
I am here, Tenno.
What? What have they done to you?
Nothing. This is what I am.
Drifting, gone beyond the Greek star. Mother, I am coming home.
The sacrifice quest is complete. And it opens up another quest, the Chimera Prologue. But before we get onto that, let us address that this mastery rank bar has now filled in as a result of picking up a brand new frame and weapon. With that in mind, let us have a look at the mastery rank up. One wave down. 2. Done.
Ready yourself.
Got him.
This test is now complete. Another job well executed.
And there we are, the next slab is in place. Next quest, Chimera Prologue. Oh. Deeply concerning. Why bring us back here?
I am not who you think I am.
But of course you are. Imprisoned, just as she was.
What is the point of all this, you cretinous thing?
No hope. The Lotus. Just some cloud in the sky. Just some shape they imagined. Only the sentient is real. Only Natah. So, tell me, devil, do you understand what must be done? Paracesis, the sentient slayer. Hurry, take this. The idea of it. It is the only way your war can end.
Let's take it. Huzzah! We have the Paracesis blueprint. Now, building the Paracesis blueprint requires a Galatine, 5 Eidolon shards, a lot of my Orokin cells, and 1,000 Orokin ducats, plus Mastery rank 10. We can certainly leave that for now.
Let her go.
If I had a heart, it would be broken. If my eyes could weep, I'd be blind. Look at what they've made of you. You're a god. You're a queen. But somehow the bees have you as a hostage. Do you even recognize me anymore?
I recognize the enemy.
No. Sister, it's me. Era. You believe these are your children. But I am the only family you've got left. So choose. Our family. Our people. Or these parasites. Choose, Natah. Choose.
I am not Natah. I am the Lotus.
Reformation is accelerating. Our conduits are nearly ready. Our rebirth is at hand.
The Orokin are gone. The bios are divided, infighting over what remains. Only the Tenno.
The Tenno. The enemy.
So what are you waiting for? Sing for us, sister. Call them home.
And now with that done, it says, new quest, the new war. But I do not believe we can actually begin this, because we must own a Necromech in order to begin this quest. Now, we could go ahead and purchase one, which would require obtaining the Platinum to make the purchase, or we can very simply build one. We already have the blueprints. Void Rig capsule, casing, engine, pod, and the Void Rig itself. All it takes is for us to obtain these various materials. What we are missing are the damaged weapon pod, damaged casing, damaged pod, don't know why it's not called capsule, and damaged engine. Let us see about bringing that all together alongside these materials. How long will it take Dan to construct a void rig? To that end, I'm going to record the entire farming process, see how long it truly takes me. I'm not going to include the entire thing in this video, of course not, you don't need to see every last inch of the farm, but I will have an exact measure based on how long that recording is. Starting now. First things first of note is the different types of materials to get. Some of these are crafted materials, so we can have a look at the Devolved Namelon, we can have a look at the Tempered Batholite, the Adramal Alloy, the Purged Agonic, the Purified Hesiphron, the Faceted Tiamatrite. All of that lot is going to be in the mining materials, and as it so happens, I actually already have these blueprints. We have got the Devolved Namelon already here, Faceted Tiamatrite already here. We have got Adramal Alloy, Tempered Batholite, Purged Agonic, and Purified Hesiphron. All of these pieces are already available to me. It is just a case of getting the resources. In terms of those resources, for the Devolved Namelon, because we're going to need 50 Devolved Namelon, it's actually 60 because of the way it's constructed. We need a little bit more Namelon. However, Ferros, plenty good. Terraglobes, plenty good. Rubido, all of it's there. For the Tiamatrite, for which I need 30, we only need a teeny tiny bit more Tiamatrite, and then we'll be good to go. When it comes to the Adramal, I've actually got all of the Adramalium, which is the material from Deimos itself, and we're good for the Plastids, we're good for the Terraglobes. It's just this Traveride here that I'm going to need. 60 of that must be acquired. For the Tempered Batholite, same again, I've already got the Batholite, the Deimos resource. The only thing missing here is the Pyrrole from the Plains of Eidolon. And then we have Purged Agonic and Purified Hesiphron. I have absolutely 0 Hesiphron. This is the one that most people tend to complain about. This is the one where people say, oh, the mining is terrible. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. There is really only one way we're going to verify that for ourselves. I'm not going to go through the obelisks over on Deimos if I can avoid it. I'm going to mine 40 Hesiphron. Okay, 40 is very manageable. Outside of that, there is also the other bits and pieces needed for the Void Rig. The other bits and pieces being the damaged parts. All of these can be purchased from Father, so I'm going to need to get some standing for that. Then we have the spinal core section, and we have the biotic filters. Those two, they come from fishing over on Deimos, from 2 separate fish that just so happen to spawn in the same location. So that should also be very, very manageable. Let's see if I'm correct about this. Now let's go and gather all of those materials. I'm going to get started with the mining on the Plains of Eidolon, because why not? There's only one requirement here. Start nice and cheery with it. Here we go. Now in terms of mining for Pyrrole, I'm going to head my way over to Mount Nang. We want to be nice and far away from here to get maximum yields. And Mount Nang, our way in, is just over this way. Get rid of anything that is in my way, and let's get to mining. Now we don't want the blue veins, we only want the red veins. Blue veins are useless to us here, and we also don't want these enemies up and around us. Speaking of red veins, here's one right now. Pyrrole! I have not gone too far north, we're all good. I have finally acquired my first bit of Pyrrole of this mining session. Now I definitely needed more than 8 pieces. I still think I need more than 15 pieces, but let's double check. Okay, Pyrrole, I need 27 units. And I'm currently on 15. This is good. Oh. Okay. That's another 8. So that brings us up to 23. There it is. Okay, cool. We're going to be having a fair amount of this today. So if you hate mining content, I'm very sorry. Today is not the stream for you. Next up is the Traveride from the Orb Vallis. When it comes to Traveride, you can mine in various locations around the map, but there is one particular place I like to go mining, which is over by, I believe it's called the Transit Depot, down here. And then we are going to go mining in that spot there. I know some people like to go over to the Exploiter Orb Cave. I prefer this one. Mining laser ready. And again, we are looking for the red veins. There is 10 Traveride. Excellent. I should probably double check how much I need. I need 55 Traveride. I'm going to go for the bonus gems here because they're a very good source of standing with the Solaris. Oh, I missed that one. Never mind. Yes! Got it all. Excellent. With that stage done, now everything else, it is just now on the Cambion Drift. I'm going to start with the fishing, just to break things up a bit so we're not doing all the mining in one go. Then we'll get on with the mining. Start with the fishing. Let's head on over to the Catabolic Gutter. There we are. And we want to be going inside over there. I think I see a hotspot for fishing right here. Excellent. Want to bring out our fishing spear. And let's see. I need to be using Voam bait. Cool. We'll pop this down. Pop this down. And let's see what we can't catch. So I'm going to be needing Duroids. I'm going to be needing Vitreospiners. I'm going to be needing Chondricords. Not all of those will spawn, but I'll get whichever I can of those. Ah, Duroid. There we go. That is one of the bits and pieces we are going to actually need. There we are. Dealt with the ones I don't need to catch. And instead, I get the one I'm specifically looking for. Chondricord. Yes! That is good. And another! Duroid, which I don't think I need, but I'll catch it anyway. Yeah, I need 15 spinal cord sections. This gives me 12. 14. One more to go. Let's put down new bait. Oh, well, that was easy. And so now I have 7 Chondricords of those types, another one down here, that's 8 total, that is 16 spinal cord sections. And I've got all of the Duroids, which means that the fishing is completely done, just like that. All I have left to do now is to get the Deimos standing, and then I need to do the mining. We've got Namelon, Tiametrite, Hesiphron, and Dagonic, and I think I will get everything by the time I get the Dagonic I am looking for. Sorry, not Dagonic, Hesiphron. I'll find everything by the time I got the Hesiphron I'm looking for. So if I focus entirely on getting all 40 of that, I will be done once I've found it all. Now Hesiphron is a gem. Come to think of it, what else do I need mining-wise? I need Namelon ore, Tiametrite gem, Hesiphron gem, Dagonic gem. So it's just the Namelon I need from the yellow veins. And for that I need only 13. So as soon as I've got the 13, I could just focus on gems. That is good. Bing. That's a bonus gem. Very important, because it could be what we're looking for. And it is, it's Hesiphron. There we go, we are 10% of the way there. 20% if I had a resource booster, but I do not. And we get 3. And some Necrotheme we don't need. Oh wait, what? Aha! Hidden node. Got it! And we get some Namelon for that. And Tiametrite. Cool. Quick check on the Namelon. That puts me at 17. I require 13. Namelon is done, which means the mining of the yellow veins for anything other than gems is done. So I can skip through that now. Sooner or later we are going to pick up a lot of Hesiphron and everything will be great. I don't need eyes. Don't mind me. I don't need eyes. Why would I want to see things? Ah. Can't a guy mine in peace? Here we go. We've got an obelisk. Whilst we're here, let's run this one. Alright, this looks like this one is as good as expired. There's no more enemies. Cool. And from that I got a grand total of 3 Hesiphron. Such value. Much wow. Behind door number... Oh, bonus gem. Nailed it. 2 bonus gems. Nailed it. I was kind of hoping for 3. Okay, so the Batholite we don't care about. What about... Nope, Dagonic, don't care about that. What about... Oh, come on. Reminder, I only need 40 Hesiphron. We're at 22. If I had a resource booster, I would be done. You know what, maybe I can drag the enemies over here. We got Dagonic, Biotic Filter, and not a lot else it seems. Okay. I was trying to do this all in one run, but it looks like that's not going to be reasonable because I still need another 12 Hesiphron, and we're now all the way back here. So let's dip out and reload and go back to the Catabolic Gutter for another 12. Okay, one run out of multiple required are done. This Hesiphron is proving to be an annoyance to try and get hold of, but that is fine. Another 12 is required, which means we are more than halfway there. Out of the other bits and pieces, I needed to get 13 Namelon. We have acquired 130. 10 times as much as I needed to pick up, and certainly in itself more than twice that I needed total. But it's fine, we have it, better than not having it. Tiametrite. I needed to get another 4, because I already had 26. Yeah, I'm good for Tiametrite, that's all fine now. Dagonic, I needed 20 total, I already had 8. So I needed 12 more, and Dagonic, I have found 97. So the only thing I am still short on is the Hesiphron, and compared to the rest of this, quite substantially so. Hesiphron is the greatest limiting factor. Oh dear. Hesiphron, yes, another 3. Oh, it's great. How rumph to you, I say. Great, the one that had the bugged nodes, that's Hesiphron. Ah, 3 more needed. Nope, nope. Bonus gem. Really? Really? I need 1 more Hesiphron. I thought I was going to get 3 from that. I really thought I was going to get 3. Okay. That was a gem node and a bonus gem with perfect Hesiphron. I don't want to ever hear any of you ever talk about streamer luck again. Let us exit out the Necrolisc for a moment. Let's double check on all of those resources acquired. So let's get those mining ones built. So now we just need the broken pieces and to cut up the fish. Cut the fish.
You know what you're doing, so I'll let you get on with it.
Let's head on over to Father. Now let's see what standing is required for these. 2,000 standing apiece. I have 1,300.
Sure. Take your
If I head on over to Grandmother,
Go on, dear.
I can turn in some of these mother tokens for grandmother tokens to upgrade the standing I'll get.
Very kind.
And then trade in for the standing. So that gives us 3,000 on top of our 1,300. So that's 4,000 odd. We just need another 4,000 in mother tokens. Well, would you look at that? Here's some I farmed earlier.
May you have much joy of it. Always nice to see you.
And as a
Do
result,
stop by again.
I can immediately purchase all of that.
Tenno, good to see you.
No isolation vault. No necromech fighting. No waiting on that darn infusion. And no dealing with Lloyd lazily floating around. Done.
Works for me.
Works for me too. Voidrig Weapon Pod. Building. In 12 hours these will be done. A further 72 hours after that, give or take my reaction time getting out of the foundry, I will have a Voidrig, and that will bring us to the new war.
And I think the one that people have been looking forward to for possibly 4 years now is the Necromech is no longer required for the new war. We will give you a loner.
No! I have just gone to do the assassination node here on Hades, the Ambulus mission, but there is an invasion happening. There is an invasion. Can I complete this node by killing the Forid and entirely skip the Ambulus? Here we go. Been a long time since we fought you, and you're level 55 now. And there we go. Let's see. Does this clear the node for us? Does it clear the node? Kill the boss in the Polluto region to get to extraction? Oh my. It's cleared. Ambulus skipped. Fan mail.